So, welcome back to part 2. This time I promised I would look at how to use the self-optimizing with the Moto X. And I'll use that file that we did last time in part 1. I'll use the YouTube special pipe I made. We can open that one to look at it for fun stuff, or just for fun. YouTube there. I optimized it, so I tried, but that I'll open this one, not optimized. Open, and we can look at some configuration and stuff also. It's a reed valve system. It's this is my engine, my TZR 250 engine. It's a reed valve system and single piece expansion chamber. There you can see how this is like a chainsaw muffler, and this is like the expansion chamber with a baffle setup. Single piece is what I have chosen, and expand with integrated muffler. I haven't got that. I've got this one, and I haven't got an air filter, and 3 A transfer types. I got A, B, and C. And the basic dimensions: 56 bore, 50.7 stroke. Here it's a race piston. They seldom have any offset. Offset is almost always for setting and for gaining less rattle in the piston and more quiet engine. Crankcase, I can't remember if this is actually really correct, but I guess it is. And cylinder head clearance, this gives me about, I can't remember, 15 to 1. And connecting rod length is 105. In new crank I have longer rods, but let's not use that right now. Next screen, ignition combustion. I just set this to the lower value here, and burn period in the middle. A number here I set a straight ignition curve, 15 degrees straight. I will not change it right now because I want to compare to the last simulation I did. So that's not, but I can set up 8 points and make a retarding curve or whatever I want to do. This is the weather outside. I just set it to standard. I haven't got any water-cooled exhaust because it isn't a boat engine. And fuel scavenge, fuel, I just set the standard values, and standard here also for petrol. And throttle settings, 1.0 is wide open. If you look, well, where is it? No, it doesn't. Well, it's 1.0 is wide open throttle. And I set the straight fuel curve here to 12.5 AFR. If having power jet, you can set a curve here, like 8 points at different RPM points. And then as the power jet adds fuel on the maximum airspeed in the throttle, which is maximum torque, it can enrich the engine, and by that making it leaner at the top. Well, I'm not using that now because I want to compare it. Run parameters, this is how I set up the Moto to simulate and yeah. Oh, fuck. Exit. No. I didn't want to change that. Oh, I just touched the button, so I can't remember what it was. Exit domain, yes, exit. I need to redo this. We can continue where I was though, because I didn't do any changes. It was just some text, well, whatever. This is how I set up the motor to simulate my engine, and I will not touch this at this point. Inlet read. This is some data of the inlet, the read cage, and this isn't really to get a pipe working. This isn't really. You can just set big enough here, and this is a value that is most critical. The thickness of the blades. The other ones are how big the cage is, and this is you choose what material the blades are in, and the petals in. Transfer A, B, and C, and then exhaust. Here I have set up. I can set just one. Then there's the same dimension on the port all the way through the stroke, and 130 degrees off the top dead center. Transfer to 130 degrees off the top dead center. It's slightly another shape of the port. This is the boost port, C transfer, only one. And 60 degrees upwards. Maybe some might be quite steep, but I will not change because I have simulated with these values earlier. If you're changing anything now, there won't be equal results. And here I shaped the exhaust, and sadly enough, I can't shape main exhaust with auxiliary exhaust ports. I can only make a bridged port here, so I'll shape it like a bridge, like a main and auxiliary. But yeah, the area is almost the same, and you can set all in the transfers also some angles and how it is aimed out from the cylinder, and the transfers how it is aimed into the cylinder. And inlet, notice this, it doesn't do much for the change. This is like I have a bell mouth on the carburetor. I have set to 36.5. This is the dimension of the carburetors. I haven't spent too much here, but I won't make any changes. And this is transfer length, and yeah, I haven't set up anything here. This is the expansion chamber dimension. This is what it looked like in the last we did, and this is the shape of the pipe. Return. Now I'll set. As I'm using the screen recorder, it only records 10 minutes at a time. I'll start simulate save, even though I haven't made any difference. Yes. Exit the main menu. Run the simulator. Expansion chamber optimization. Take that pipe. And now I need to. And now I will set the optimization parameters. I'll use for power. And you can set 6 different RPM points where how much you want the motor to optimize at some certain point. I'll just set 1 now for making it easy, and I want power at 12 12,500. And I'll name the YouTube optimization. YouTube opt 01 or 0.1, like that. And YouTube special optimization 1. Next screen, and here continue. I can select which part of the pipe I want to optimize. I can do the whole pipe, or I can select some parts. Let's say I'm using a header from an engine that I want to optimize a pipe, and the header, let's say like a dirt bike, it's got 2 or 3 bends in it. So I'll leave that out for this time being, because let's say I'm optimizing for a dirt bike engine and I use the existing header I'm having that I've got, and select length. So I won't select 1. So I'll select 2, 3, 4, 5, and the tailpipe. Next screen, and this is the length. I just did that. And section out diameters. Blah blah blah. And here I won't use this one then, so I can have to select outflow diameters individually, and include section 1 inflow diameter. No, and I won't use 1 at all. 2, 3, 4, 5, and the tailpipe. And if this function, I've seen when clicking it, I've seen some really odd results that doesn't look like a working pipe at all. So I'll set this part, the belly, is maintained parallel. If getting an angle here, it can be a very weird shaped pipe that I know isn't working in real life. And let's see, is there anything else I need to say? No, let's go. So now I can use set LSet, commence optimization, run. We can check the numbers, like this. I can change, yes. Let's see here. It made from 41.84 horsepower earlier, it gained up to 44.37, total gain 2.53 at least 12,500 RPMs. And here is the measurements. I'll let it sit for a while so you can look at it. This is from for 125cc engine. Yeah. And now let's look at the graphic information file. Display. I'll take the first YouTube special. This one is the file that I've got, and I shows to optimize in Moto X. And now let's see if they're making any sense, this new, I can set it like this so you can see the numbers here. No, I want to see these numbers also. yes, so I'll open this file that it has done. Add YouTube opt, and it made a very odd shaped curve here. Take away the torque, just power to see. The red was what I was having, and the blue is what the motor did. And now you see some strange behavior here. And I don't know what it actually depends on, but we can take that in part 3 and try to make it more beautiful. I'll try to change the ignition curve. I can do that just now when you're looking. File, edit, and then YouTube optimization. Here, ignition combustion. Now I'll set the ignition curve here. Let's set 8 points. So now you got a lot of values. Yeah, got 8 RPM points. Let's set 13,500 at the max, and 12,500 and 11,500. I'll do 1,000 RPM increments. And 9,500, 8,500, 7,500. And 6,500. Oops, that was 6,500. And now we can set some curve. The other one I had was 50 degree all over. And now I can set some curve at, let's say 30,500. I do not want 15 degrees. I might want 10 degrees. That maximum power, I'll set it to, let's say 12 degrees. And right here, it interpolates between the values, but I'll set 50 degrees. And now this is where pipe starts to boost the engine. And it isn't reached the maximum boost level, so to speak, so you can have a higher value. I'll set 20 degrees and 25 and 30, 30 and 30. Now we got an ignition curve that isn't very strange, it's just a normal curve. And we can save that, and I'll name it optimization point 2_1, because I did a change to the first simulation file. I have this logic, so I can see from the files what it's about. Save, exit the main menu, and now I'll run the normal engine simulation to see what the curve was making for me. Open, it's running. This is quite fast. It's done. Now we can look. Oops. There. I'll open the original file first. Display engine. That is that optimization. This one. Yes, and we know that, well, this was the optimized file that was becoming quite weird. So I can add the optimization over this curve, see if it becomes any better. And it actually didn't, but I gained some power. No, I didn't, I lost some power, but the curve got better. And some more torque in the lower RPMs, and it should be because I got higher what do you call it, this timing. And you can see this become a differ here. And I got at 12,500, I had 15 degrees earlier, so I can go back to that again. This configuration wants some more ignition. I can do that again. Edit, and I'll edit the one I just made. Ignition, combustion. And I'll set this 50 degree right here then. 15. And let's set 17 here. It seems like it wants more ignition. But this one, as it revved a little bit longer, I'll set it to, I'll stretch this 14,000 and set this to 8. It interpolates between these two. Well, at least I think it's doing that. The lower timing means more heat in the exhaust, and the engine gets more, and the pipe gets hotter, and the engine gets tuned at a higher RPM. That's why it's raising the RPM a little bit. So I'll do this, and we'll see. And save. I'll save that as I did another changing. Do and save. Exit. Run simulator. Normal. Okay, there's the one, and it's running. It's done. My computer is actually quite fast. Now I look at that file and open display engine graphical information. I can open you can compare the last two. I open this one. It looks quite normal actually, but I don't like this abrupt stop because it always says that something's wrong. I want this to curve off a little bit, then it can shut off. And compare it now to the last one we did. And why did it lose power now? No, it gained power from the other one, but it didn't like that lower ignition values. So it tells me there's something else. We can go back and lean it out. Let's say as if we got a power jet. Edit. And then we'll go for fuel scavenge. Now I'll set up 8 points here. And 40,000 as I got the value. 12,500, 11,500, 10,500, 9,500, 8,500, oops, 7,500 and 6,500. And down here you want, if you want to have a good, what do you call it, environment, it's 14.7, but it won't get a responsive engine. So I'll set 12.5 here and 12.5. Now it's probably in this region the pipe starts to build some power and boost. So I'll use 12.2 as it pulls harder in the power jet. 12.2 and here 12, 12, 12 and 13, because the power jet I can actually make this big change so we can see some change to the curve, as the power jet gives more fuel when the pipe pulls hard, and the pipe stops after peak power. It stops pulling, let's say 1,000 RPMs after peak, and this is 1500, and this is leaner. And when the pipe doesn't pull as much in the carb, the effect from not the power, meaning the air speed in the carburetor isn't pulled as high at these RPM as the pipe is started to reach its maximum right here, and it stops pulling. So I'll take this, save, and this is another changing. This 0.3, save, exit, run the simulator, normal, yes, and let's take that one, running again. Yeah, now it's done. Return to motor, and now we open the two last ones again. Display graphic information, TZR 250. I'll open it before I did the optimization now. Open right down here. Open, we got that curve, yes. It's actually 44, it's good power. And now I'll add with a new fuel curve, see if there was some changes. And now you can see it starts to round off. So it was fuel that was not correct. So well, it doesn't start to round off, it's peaky, but you can see the shape is more like usable design. And I got some more over rev, so to speak. So I can sit here for hours and hours, but now you saw a little how you can fiddle around to also gain some info what you would do with the engine to suit the pipe you just made. So in part 3 I will more go into and design an engine from start, not using my one. Now the dogs are alarmed also. Well, we'll see you back in part 3. Bye.